Hi, welcome back to How to Pass AP English 4. My name is Chandler Claxton, and this is my lovely co-host, Beethoven. Today we're talking about classical allusions in Shakespeare's Hamlet. In Act 1 of Hamlet, Shakespeare employs a classical allusion, that of his other work, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar fast becomes an unmatched military power, further encouraging his downfall throughout Shakespeare's play. I find this comparison in that Hamlet's father, the late King of Denmark, was killed in the same murderous fashion. Caesar was a high authoritative power, like the king was in Hamlet. I find thee apt, the duller shouldest thou be than the fat weed, that roots itself in the ease of thee worth. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by forced process of my death rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, that serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Another classical allusion from Act 1 are Shakespeare's Greek allusions. The first example is when Hamlet compares himself to Hercules, as in saying that would be like comparing his father to his uncle. The second Greek allusion is when Hamlet uses a simile, the second Greek allusion is when the ghost speaks to Hamlet using a simile. The ghost discusses a Lethe, a river in Hades in Greek mythology. The Lethe flowed around the cave of Hypnos and through the underworld, where all those who drank from it experienced complete forgetfulness. Lethe was also the name of the Greek spirit of forgetfulness and oblivion, with whom the river was often identified.
Hello, today we are hitting the streets to find out the people's opinion on classical allusions found in William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Hello, excuse me ma'am, are you busy?
Oh no.
Do you know anything about Hamlet?
Oh yes, actually I'm doing a project in my English 4 class right now over Hamlet. Yes.
Well, can you explain this illusion to me? The illusion of Vulcan, Roman god of fire, Act 3, Scene 2, line 85.
Oh, of course, that one's easy. Okay, throughout the story, after Hamlet's father's death, and he sees an illusion of the ghost of his father explaining that Claudius, his uncle, was the one who murdered him. And whenever they get to the point where they're making the play, he explains to Horatio that there's a scene in the play in which somebody dies in the same way that his father dies. So he tells Horatio, watch my uncle Claudius and see if his guilt is revealed in this scene. And if his guilt is not revealed, then the ghost that he's seeing is actually a devil, because Vulcan was the Roman god of fire. He represented evil. And so if Claudius doesn't react, it's just an evil demon coming to him, telling him lies about his father's murder and who did it. And that's basically it about Vulcan.
Did you say you were in AP English 4?
Yes, AP English 4. Miss Dersham is my teacher.
You're a very talented person. You have a photographic memory.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even read you the quote.
Oh, wow.
The quote was, if his oculated guilt do not itself unkindle in one's speech, it is a ghost that we have seen. My imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's filthy. The second quote, and this time let me read it.
All right.
Is from Act 3, Scene 2, line 136. Let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sapes. The classical allusion is the devil.
Oh, like I said, the most important conflict in the entire book is the murder of his father and how his mom went on to remarry to his uncle. And he sees this as incestual, as just wrong. And he doesn't agree with it at all. He's conflicted with his emotions. And when he sees that his mother doesn't mourn his father's death for more than a few months, he sees her as the devil. He calls her the devil, like the epitome of all evil. And she wears black and she acts as if she's gonna mourn, but her actions say different. She acts cheerful. She doesn't act as if she's sad at all. She's not reacting to it at all, as if she's in on his death. So that's basically it about the devil.
Thanks for your time.
Yes.
This has been Jose Quinones reporting a very special interview by a bystander who not only is in an honors class, she also has photographic memory and is able to recite Shakespearean quotes on hand.
Do you ever run out of eraser? What about lead? Have no fear. Shakespeare's Quill is here. Presenting Quill by Shakespeare. You can write with it. You can hold it. Impress people by looking intelligent. And pass English 4. Batteries not included. Ink sold separately. Results may vary.
Welcome back to How to Pass AP English 4. Today we're speaking of Hercules. Hercules. Zeus was the most powerful of the Greek gods, and so the god that was allowed the most freedom. He often fell in love and had his way with the mortal world. This brought about his affair with the mortal women. Alchemy, an affair that led to the birth of a boy. Once grown, she forced Hercules to slaughter his entire family, an act that brought great guilt to Hercules. He then sought the help of the sun god, Apollo, a prophet who appointed Hercules to a 12-year service to the king Turnus, along with 10 tasks that would later become 12, known as the 12 labors. Once Hercules completed those tasks, he would become a god in Mount Olympus. The 12 labors were the lion, the hydra, the hind, the boar, the stables, the birds, the bull, the horses, the belt, the cattle, the apples, and finally, Cerberus. That they do, my lord, Hercules and his load too. Hamlet. Shakespeare includes this classical allusion to the Hercules idea of him withholding the world. This expression is to metaphorically hyperbolize the idea of the children actors working to maintain the theater. This is an idea which both Hamlet and Horatio speaking of and discussed, so the Hercules allusion expresses a negative idea of mere children withstanding the pressure of maintaining the theater. These kids are given so much responsibility with adult roles in maintaining this theatrical world, such as Hercules, who was a son of Zeus, given the responsibility to hold the globe. This can also be an allusion to the Shakespeare's theater, which held a statue of Hercules holding up the globe. Roscius, the Roman actor, was born a slave. He was blessed with a handsome face and a manly figure. He studied the delivery and gestures of the most distinguished advocates in the forum, especially Hortensius, and won universal praise for his grace and elegance on the stage. He especially excelled in comedy. Cicero took lessons from him. The two often engaged in friendly rivalry to try whether the orator or the actor could express a thought or emotion with greater effect, and Roscius wrote a treatise in which he compared acting and oratory. Lutatius Catullus composed a quatrain in his honor, and the dictator Sulla presented him with a gold ring, the badge of equestrian order, a remarkable distinction for an actor in Rome, where the profession was held in contempt like his contemporary Espus. Roscius amassed a large fortune, and he appeared to have retired from the stage since some time before his death. In 76 BC, he was sued by Cephanius Chaerea for 50,000 sesterces and was defended by Cicero in a famous speech. My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome, having unfriendly ties with Polonius, Hamlet mocks Polonius with this allusion to a comic actor. It is like saying, "Did you know Adam Sandler was an actor in California?" It gives a sarcastic tone that expresses his idea that Polonius is ignorant and need not inform him of this old news of the actor's arrival. showing great tension between the characters.
The classical allusions from Act 5 surround a common character, the gravedigger, but more than that, a common theme, death. The first of these classical allusions is Adam from Act 5, Scene 1, line 32. Adam was the first created man in God's image from the book of Genesis. The quote is, they hold up Adam's profession. The gravedigger is saying that he cannot be criticized for his profession since he worked in the same manner as Adam. To criticize him for his profession would be criticizing the biblical scripture that says, the scripture says Adam digged. The second allusion is in Act 5, Scene 1, line 79. How the name jolts it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Cain's jawbone, what appears in Cain's hands in English biblical illustrations throughout the Middle Ages and is frequently referred to in English vernacular language. Cain's jawbone is a murder weapon seen in large numbers of representations, most important of which was the Ghent altarpiece. Hamlet is upset with the manner of which the gravedigger deals with the deceased. Hamlet was aware that he too would be one of those bodies and was offended with the careless nature of the gravedigger. The third of these allusions is in Act 5, Scene 1, line 204. Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion in this earth? Alexander the Great was the son of King Philip of Macedonia. Tutored by Aristotle, he would become the king of Macedonia and conqueror of Persia and Egypt. His empire would stretch from Asia to the Mediterranean. Shakespeare references Alexander the Great as Hamlet meets the gravedigger and compares the likes of the disrespected bodies to Horatio, asking if even Alexander would have his image defiled in such a way. And now to our field reporter, Evans here, with the last of these classical allusions.
We're at Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus, Act 5, Scene 1, line 266. To our top old Pelion of the skyish here of blue Olympus. Mount Olympus metaphorically expresses the quantity of deceased bodies that it reaches, even surpassing the great dwelling of the gods. It is where they used to have great dinings and just have a great time as a god.
Thank you for watching How to Pass AP English 4. My name is Chandler Claxton.
And my name's Martin Tyler, and I really appreciate you visiting us here at the Premier League in Barclays. Have a good one.
Bye, Big Ben.